Sleep is the fundamental pillar of human health. We often view it as a cost, something we sacrifice to get more done in our waking hours. However, in reality, sleep is an investment in tomorrow. The science is clear. The shorter your sleep, the shorter your life. When you get your sleep right, it acts as the primary domino. Once it falls into place, it naturally helps every other aspect of your physical and mental health to improve. To understand what constitutes good sleep, we can look at a simple four-part equation, which we can remember using the acronym QQRT: quantity, quality, regularity, and timing. First, quantity is essential. For the average adult, the sweet spot is consistently between 7 and 9 hours. Getting less than this, even by a small margin, can be measured as an impairment in both your brain performance and your body metrics. Quality refers to the continuity of your sleep. If your night is fragmented and littered with frequent awakenings, you are not achieving high-quality rest, even if you are in bed for a long duration. Then there is regularity. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, might sound benign, but research suggests it is as important as, if not more important than, total quantity in predicting long-term health outcomes. Finally, we must consider timing, which relates to your chronotype. Are you a morning person, an evening person, or somewhere in between? Genetics play a massive role here, as there are at least 22 different genes that dictate your preference. If you are a night owl but force yourself to sleep like a morning lark, you are fighting your biology. When you fight biology, you usually lose, and that loss is often reflected in disease and sickness. One of the most dangerous and underdiagnosed conditions affecting these pillars is sleep apnea. It is estimated that approximately 80% of people who have sleep apnea are unaware of it. Essentially, when you have sleep apnea, your airway becomes obstructed or collapses, like a straw being pinched flat. As you sleep, you stop breathing for 15 to 20 seconds, causing carbon dioxide to build up in your blood. Your brain then sends an emergency trigger to wake you up so you can breathe again. This cycle happens repeatedly throughout the night. Even if you don't fully wake up to remember it, your body is effectively being strangled multiple times an hour, preventing you from ever reaching a restored state. If you suspect you have this issue, simple tools like online questionnaires or breathing recording apps can provide initial insights. It is vital not to treat this as a joke. It is a serious medical issue that impacts your health span, your cardiovascular system, and your metabolic control. This brings us to the link between sleep and weight management. When your sleep is insufficient, your appetite hormones become completely unbalanced. Specifically, a hormone called leptin, which signals that you are full and satisfied, starts to decrease. Meanwhile, another hormone called ghrelin, which signals that you are hungry and need to eat more, starts to increase. Furthermore, your body produces endocannabinoids, which also drive hunger. Compounding this, brain imaging studies show that when you are underslept, the rational control centers of your brain in the frontal cortex shut down, while the deeper, emotional brain centers, which respond to highly rewarding, sugary, and high-fat foods, become much more reactive. You are essentially getting a double punishment. Your brain stops telling you that you are full, while simultaneously screaming at you to consume unhealthy calories. To fix this, we need practical, actionable habits. First, be mindful of caffeine. It has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours for the average adult. This means that if you have a cup of coffee at noon, a quarter of that caffeine is still circulating in your brain at midnight. Avoid it as much as possible in the 10 to 12 hours before you plan to sleep. Second, beware of alcohol. It is perhaps the most misunderstood sleep aid in existence. While it might help you drift off, it fragments your sleep and blocks you from getting the rapid eye movement, REM, sleep necessary for mental restoration. Finally, manage your mental state. In our modern era, we are constantly on reception, rarely doing reflection. Often, the only time we do reflection is when our head hits the pillow at night. This is when anxiety starts to bloom. We ruminate and we catastrophize, making problems feel twice as bad in the dark than they do in the light of day. If you struggle with this, try to create a winding down period before bed. Avoid heavy or high sugar meals in the final hours, as these can spike your core body temperature and disrupt your ability to fall asleep. Treating sleep as a non-negotiable priority is the single most effective way to protect your long-term health, boost your daily energy, and gain control over your diet and mood. It is time to stop viewing sleep as a cost and start seeing it as the foundation of everything you wish to achieve. Have a nice day!